to release the Epstein files.
Who covered for him? What financial institutions allowed his trafficking to continue? Who knew what he was doing, but was too much of a coward to do anything about it?
The sub stood with lawmakers this morning in front of the Capitol. CBS's Scott McFarland.
It's going to be a bipartisan vote, an overwhelming one, to release the files. That's going to nudge the Senate to finally move on this. They haven't been touching this thing with a 10-foot pole over the last few months. They now have to embrace it, and the president has said he will sign it into law.
A bankruptcy court judge has approved the settlement of thousands of lawsuits against Purdue Pharma, the maker of OxyContin. The deal requires members of the Sackler family who own the company to contribute up to $7 billion over time, some of it to victims of the opioid epidemic. Plus, they'll give up ownership of the business. This morning at the White House, an arrival ceremony for Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman. CBS News correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
They are going to have lunch here at the Oval Office. There will later today be a black tie dinner in honor of the Crown Prince. Not a state dinner, but it's going to look like one. About 120 invited guests expected, including leaders of politics, business, sports, and society in general.
The Crown Prince and President Trump are expected to talk about deals, including F-35 fighter jets. It's his first White House visit since the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi by Saudi agents. The online gaming platform Roblox says it's strengthening protections for minors. Dozens of families and attorneys general are suing Roblox for allegedly failing to keep kids safe from sexual predators. CEO Dave Baszucki on CBS Mornings.
All of the chat on Roblox is already filtered. There's no image sharing on Roblox. We monitor chat for critical harms. So we see this just as a continuation.
Honda today announced a major recall, as we hear from reporter Jeff Gilbert from affiliate WWJ Detroit.
Honda's recalling more than 250,000 2023 to 25 model year Accord hybrids to fix a software issue that affects the vehicle's engines. The integrated control module can reset while the vehicle's being driven, causing a loss of power. No crashes or injuries have been reported.
And checking Wall Street, it's a down day. The Dow is down 446 points. NASDAQ down more than 200. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Firefighters in Pierce County find a body. We're at the scene, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. A disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on State Route 18 eastbound near the Tiger Mountain State Forest. You're jammed up over the summit. A crash is blocking a lane on westbound State Route 522 near Echo Lake Road. You're backed up over the Snohomish River. And it looks like you've got a crash southbound on I-405 near the Bothell-Everett Highway. You are slow through Bothell right now. Travel times, though, what we'd expect for this time of day. Everett to Seattle will take you about an hour. Federal Way to Seattle, 53 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 39. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Firefighters battling a barn fire near Buckley find a body. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is on the scene.
Pierce County Sheriff's deputies are here along with 13 units from the East Pierce County Fire and Rescue. They say it took about an hour to get that fire under control. Very, very big flames when they arrived on scene here. Now, we do know that the fire marshal is, of course, investigating, trying to figure out exactly what started that fire, who that victim is.
And we'll bring you that information as soon as we get it. An 80-year-old Seattle man says he was left with a bloody lip when he confronted a teenager who was spraying graffiti on the Ballard Bridge. William Graff tells KIRO 7 TV.
It's just annoying that our city can just turn into a big garbage can. It's wrong, and it didn't used to be like this.
He says when he started recording the vandal on his cell phone, the teen hit him with a spray can. Graff says he called 911. Seattle police did not respond, but firefighters came to treat his injuries. The King County Prosecutor's Office is working to extradite a man who fled to Alabama after a fatal punch at the White River Amphitheater in August.
Prosecutors say 31-year-old Devin McCurdy is responsible for the death of Brandon Godsey. After that punch, Godsey fell back, hit his head, and died from his injuries. McCurdy allegedly fled to Alabama, where he was located and arrested and is already charged with second-degree murder. Bail is already set at $2 million. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio. media.
Marine biologists say they had no choice but to euthanize a young humpback whale who became stranded on a beach in Oregon. The whale was injured when it got caught in crab pot lines. It was a year ago that a devastating bomb cyclone hit western Washington. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao has one story of recovery from hard-hit Issaquah.
It's hard to believe this base-filled room was silenced by the bomb cyclone that ripped through a year ago.
Absolute catastrophic loss.
Bryce Van Paris tells me that one night cost Hammond Ashley Violins hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages.
Giant cottonwood tree right here crashed through the roof.
It took about 8 months for the shop to fully reopen. Business is now better than ever, one instrument at a time.
The bomb cyclone did an estimated $41 million in damage in Washington state. This weather update brought to you by Stade Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today. We'll see highs near 50. It's 45 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday, November 18th. I just want to know if y'all got the Thanksgiving spirit in you right now. Ursula, you got it in you right now?
I do. We have now decided we're going to have 2 pies, not just one, for Thanksgiving dinner.
What kind of pies y'all having?
We're going to have a pumpkin pie.
Oh, man.
And we're going to get a caramel apple pie.
I demand DEI at the Thanksgiving. It needs to be
Everyone's going to be represented. I don't like pumpkin pie.
Oh, you don't like?
No, I like caramel apple pie.
Are you gonna have pumpkin?
Janelle's.
Are you gonna have what's that? The whipped cream.
Whipped cream, of course.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah. Plentiful.
Out of the can?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I heard that's the best out of the can.
No, chef wants me to do a homemade, homespun with real vanilla, all that stuff.
Of course, chef wants real vanilla.
Hey, coming up at 9:30.
Nothing wrong with vanilla.
Nope. No. A major retailer says a lot of folks are pulling back on their purchases. What does this slowdown say about your wallet? And while we're talking about it, how is your wallet feeling these days? Is it squealing?
About $600-700 light.
Our text line is 888-973-5476. 888-973 KIRO. I'm feeling like it's a 6-7 kind of day.
Let's go! Top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
President Trump is once again threatening to pull the 2026 World Cup matches out of Seattle. This time he took direct aim, though, at Mayor-elect Katie Wilson. At a White House press conference with FIFA's president, Trump was asked about Seattle's safety and whether he trusts the incoming mayoral administration to host 6 World Cup games.
If we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor, I would say, it's certainly beyond just liberal. If we think there's going to be a problem, we're going to move the event to some place where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
But, gee, he did not stop there with his criticism of Seattle's mayor-elect.
I watched her over the weekend. Wow, that's another beauty we got there.
Again, this is not the first time the president has floated relocating Seattle's games. He said something similar just in September. Katie Wilson has not yet responded, but Mayor Bruce Harrell has. He says Trump's bluster about moving the World Cup once again displays his ignorance about Seattle.
Ursula, we've spent decades upon decades cheering for gangsters on the screen. Goodfellas, Godfather, Scarface. As a matter of fact, the Godfathers, actually, they won Academy Awards. The Godfather 1 and The Godfather 2. I'll wrap this up. I said this on SMN this morning. I'll say this. This is what happens when we are, as a country, we confuse bravado-type leadership, that intimidation-type leadership, and we see it come to fruition, to reality. America, we did not inherit what we have today. We cultivated this loud, doesn't matter if it's true, because he can't move the World Cup, but it doesn't matter because facts and feelings, they're not the same. And so, Ursula, what we are having here is someone, if I'm Katie Wilson, and I'm not trying to tell Katie Wilson, I wouldn't even respond to this. Because right now, you're waiting. People are waiting like, okay, Katie Wilson, what do you got to say? This is what he wants. He wants you to respond to him. Now, the question is, I'll just leave it like this. Can Donald Trump move the World Cup from Seattle?
I don't think so. I mean, unless there's an absolutely compelling reason and the entire city is in danger. By the way, the U.S. has already they've already sold nearly 2 million tickets nationwide. So when it comes to the World Cup, those tickets are selling. And Seattle's World Cup Organizing Committee President Peter Tomazawa actually said that they are working, this is a quote, in lockstep with the White House task force at every level of government to deliver a safe event. Again, Trump said this in front of the president of the World Cup. He basically, really didn't react and said safety is our top priority. The president of the Seattle Organizing Committee also said that Katie Wilson has already reached out to them proactively to get briefed and also expressed her excitement about hosting. So she's not anti-World Cup. She is not against it coming here. But I'm curious, how many people would feel really sad if World Cup was not held here in Seattle?
I would be. I'd be sad. I'd be sad because, one, right away, I'd be sad for the businesses.
Yes.
Every single day in your top stories, we're talking about businesses that are going out of business. So, yes, I would be sad about that. Oh, and I'd also be sad about the people, by the way, the city of Seattle, this area, when it comes to soccer in the United States, is one of the top in the country as far as excitement and enthusiasm centered around the Sounders. So there are people that love soccer. G. Scott does not love soccer. But for those people, I would be sad for them. Let's see what else.
I'm not going to be. I wouldn't be sad about the traffic not being. I mean, the traffic's going to be hellacious, but you're on a roll in terms of what it would bring to the economy. I mean, they're talking about dumping a lot of money here, and remember what it was like with Taylor Swift, and there was another event at the same time. It was just that weekend where every hotel was booked, and I mean, it was a big infusion of cash for this region.
And I'm sure that there are some businesses out there that are saying, "Hey, if we could just make it till 26, and we could just make it to the World Cup, maybe we'll be able to sustain and stay in business."
That's true. Absolutely. He's not going to spend another day behind bars. A federal judge has now ruled that the former Alaska Airlines pilot who tried to shut down the engines of that Horizon Air flight back in 2023 is not going to face any additional jail time, calling the incident a harsh reminder of what can happen when pilots struggle silently with mental health. This federal judge sentenced 45-year-old Joseph Emerson to time already served and 3 years of supervised release. He broke down in court yesterday. He was hugging his wife and his attorneys. Now, you might recall that he was riding off-duty in the cockpit on that flight from Everett to San Francisco when he reached for the red fire suppression handles that would have cut fuel to the engines, and the crew did stop him, and that plane diverted safely to Portland. He later told investigators that he hadn't slept in more than 40 hours. He was grieving the death of a close friend, and he had taken psychedelic mushrooms 2 days earlier. And his attorney had argued that it was the product of untreated alcohol use disorder, and Emerson has since gone through treatment and has remained sober. And in the sentencing, the judge called the case a cautionary tale, and this was the thing that surprised me. Even one of the pilots on that flight said that Emerson was not acting out of malice. He said he looked like a trapped animal, and he urged the industry to make it easier for pilots to seek help for mental health issues.
You know what I miss about yesterday? And what I mean by yesterday, what I miss about, let's say, the 80s or maybe the 90s, and some of you all maybe are older than me, but I can just speak for the 80s. I miss when we did not justify and have a reason for doing awful things. And it feels like today depending on who's doing the talking, who's got the privilege of having the judge show leniency, the privilege to have the pilot, one of the pilots at the time who was on that plane, speak on your behalf. We are living in a time where we try to reason and we try to justify and we try to these type of things. This dude tried to take down a plane. Meanwhile, y'all locked up Tyrone on 23rd and Union for having dime bags trying to feed his family, and you showed no type of leniency towards that. As a matter of fact, there are still people into this day that are underhoused, underemployed because of what they did at maybe 18 years old. Maybe they sold some drugs at a time so they can try to make some money, and their life has been absolutely halted. But here we are today. Man tries to take down a plane, and he spent 5 minutes behind bars.
Okay. He did serve 50 days in jail because it was in state court. So he did actually serve 50 days.
He didn't serve 5 minutes?
No. But
that was a sarcasm.
I know.
Sarcasm.
I know.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to point out is the question of how much additional time should he have spent? And I hear your point when you say, Tyrone with a dime bag is served a ridiculous amount of time, and that was wrong. And could you argue? Now, I think he should have spent more time. I think because it should have sent a message too. But I also think that it is pertinent, these details that come out. And what I hope will happen is that pilots will feel more, free or empowered to seek help without fear of being grounded or losing their entire careers. Because right now they can get mental health care through FAA-approved treatments. They have some peer support networks, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that within the pilot community, and that's what this other pilot who was on that plane said, it's still stigmatized. And so what do you do?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this plane that he tried to take down,
yes.
Hypothetically, let's say half the plane, not the front half, but the back half. The back half of the plane all lost their lives in this deal, and the front half did not. And then the judge showed leniency, and the pilot said, "Hey, there's a lot of mental health issues." My question to you is this: had he been successful, how much time should he get in prison then?
Mm-hmm. That would be a very different question. I mean, obviously, again, I mean, the issue is not how many lives, but in this case, that's not the case. I mean, how much time do you think he should get?
Oh, considering he tried to attempted murder on in the skies? Mm-hmm. Let me see. Maybe about 50 years in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. But again,
no, I totally I
we
hear
are
you.
living in a society where some people they say, "Oh, gee, you part of the left, and you're not tough on crime. You guys are soft on crime." Ooh, I thought we were supposed to be tough on crime. What happened? Mm-hmm. What we doing, y'all? Oh, that's right. Because we love to pick and choose who we are tough on crime. Mm-hmm. So when we say tough on crime, I promise you, the picture isn't of a pilot. When they say tough on crime, the picture, the image that they have in their mind on tough on crime,
I don't disagree
I'll tell you
with
what
you.
they look like now.
I don't disagree with you. And
I have flown with more anxiety since that day, and I will continue to fly because I must, but I will never, ever feel as safe stepping onto an airplane.
And I agree, which is why I said, again, should he have gotten more time? Absolutely. Should you take into consideration these other facts?
No, I'm not doing that. The same way I'm not doing it when people say things like, well, the reason why I socked that dude in the face is because when I was growing up, my dad was mean to me. Guess what? There are people living in this world whose daddy was mean to them, and they don't go around socking people in the face. We have to look. I am not saying mental health isn't a real issue, but what we have to do is quit giving people an outlet and justification. Hey, listen here, Roscoe. You commit a crime or you try to take down a plane and kill a bunch of people, you got consequences. Okay, do we understand that things are rough for you? Yes, we do. But you're about to serve these consequences.
No, I hear you loud and clear.
What would be a parallel case? Like somebody who's having a really, really rough stretch, extreme financial distress, mentally disturbed, they need money fast, so they snap and they decide to try and rob a bank. Mm-hmm. They fail in that bank robbery. Okay, so nobody got hurt. They didn't actually take any money. They were going through extreme duress. And you can be very, very sympathetic and see how someone would reach the point of doing that. Why is the consequence different here?
Yeah. No, I totally see your guys' points. Totally see your guys' points. Okay, let's talk about what's going on in Tacoma because parents and community leaders are pressuring the district to call off its investigation into 33 staff members at Jenny Reed Elementary. Those employees all called out sick on the same day back in September. It was a coordinated sick out meant to protest staffing cuts that they feared would hurt students. So in an anonymous letter at that time, teachers warned that the school was losing 4 staff members, including 2 classroom teachers, and that kids would be shuffled into new rooms, class sizes would climb, and support would shrink. And they accused Tacoma Public Schools of balancing its budget at the expense of our kids. Now, the district confirms it is investigating, saying it has a responsibility to make sure that employees follow policy and to protect student safety and use public funds appropriately. No one has been disciplined yet, but families are loudly siding with the teachers. Parents say the educators had almost no other way to raise their concerns and that the staffing cuts tied to enrollment shifts in a district-wide deficit will directly affect their kids' learning and stability. There are petition drives, letters coming in demanding that there are no firings or no retaliation. What should the Tacoma Public School District do?
You know, this is a tough one.
They're all tough.
Yeah. What's all tough? This topic right here? Yeah. This topic right here is tough for me because on one hand, I don't like the coordinated move because at the end of the day, that move affected kids at that very day. So you're talking about 33 missing from one school. That had to have a huge impact on some kids. On the other hand, I perfectly understand how you do have to raise attention to what's going on. And Ursula, did it work? You know what I mean? Did their efforts work in raising attention to the cuts and everything? I would say that it did. So,
well, but did they violate a district policy?
Yeah. They did.
Do you want them to continue to do that to make their point?
Yeah, that's why I said this was tough. And the reason why I'm going to side with not being able to do that because you made that point and I know the impact that it has on kids. So I'm going to side with you not being able to do that again.
So if the district doesn't investigate, yeah, I mean, you're running the risk of setting a precedent that this can happen again. Mm-hmm. What happens the next time there's a coordinated walkout? Not doing anything would weaken the district's ability to actually do something. However, I mean, you know, I think there is a way to weave through it so that you do address what they did wrong, but you also address the issues that the staff raised. So I think that there are ways that you don't have to, the district can still be in compliance with law while also acknowledging, hey, these teachers have a point.
Yeah.
You can't do this again. This cannot be your MO. I think there's a way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to admit, that was a tough one. that really was. All right. 9:47, we got Would You Rather. And wait, I'm confused because I was looking at some of the sound yesterday and I was being told that the economy was doing better than ever. And then we see the news of what's happening with Home Depot. Let's talk about Home Depot and what's going on with them next. Gee and Ursula.
disaster in L.A.
Sam, look out. Back across the middle. Ball is intercepted. Reading Sam Darnold's eyes. Why did Sam Darnold not see some of those defenders?
How do Darnold and the Hawks bounce back?
I got to be better personally. He's a great quarterback, and he's our quarterback. We love him.
We all know Sammy D's a baller.
We threw 4 interceptions today and had a chance to win it at the end.
Proud of our guys for fighting, man.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at K2VisionRLE.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Carpoolers using the SR-167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. President Trump issues a World Cup warning to Seattle.
Asked about public safety in World Cup host cities, the president singled out Seattle and its mayor-elect, Katie Wilson.
So if we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor,
he warned soccer matches would be relocated.
we're going to move the event to someplace where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
The president of FIFA insists record-breaking ticket sales show fans are not worried about safety. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Federal officials say all SNAP food recipients may need to reapply for benefits, suggesting there's widespread fraud. Debbie Christian with the Auburn Food Bank doubts that, telling KIRO 7 TV.
It's harder to apply for DSHS food stamps than it is to go get a bank loan.
With demand rising, she fears the change could overwhelm local food banks. There are 930,000 SNAP recipients across Washington. The U.S. House is expected to vote today on a bill that would force the Department of Justice to release its files on convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Survivor Jenna Lisa Jones is pushing for the release.
I was a child. I was in 9th grade. I was hopeful for life and what the future had held for me. He stole a lot from me.
The House vote could begin as soon as 11 a.m. President Trump has welcomed Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to the White House. CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports the two plan to talk about business investments and the Saudis' purchase of U.S. fighter jets.
One thing not expected is any announcement of plans to normalize relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. The Saudis have said they won't do so until plans for a Palestinian state are backed by the Israeli government. But that's something that Benjamin Netanyahu opposes.
This is the Crown Prince's first visit to the U.S. since the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi by Saudi agents in 2018. A protest is planned outside Microsoft's Redmond campus today as workers and community members demand Microsoft cut all ties with the Israeli military. They claim the company's cloud and AI services are being used in ways that violate human rights in the West Bank and Gaza. We've reached out to Microsoft for comment. Wall Street is down on fears of an AI bubble. The Dow down 646 points right now. NASDAQ is off 356. KIRO News Radio traffic. In Bellevue, a disabled vehicles blocking a lane on I-90 westbound at 150th Avenue Southeast. Not seeing a significant backup just yet. You're still slow through Bothell due to a crash on I-405 southbound. The disabled vehicle may have been moved from State Route 18. I'm only seeing a little bit of a backup near the Tiger Mountain Summit. And it looks like the crash has been moved from State Route 522 near Echo Lake Road. Your backup is breaking up nicely. Travel time's what we'd expect this time of day. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy today with highs near 50. It's 45 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you for joining us today. 888-973-5476, 888-973. KIRO is our text line. Home Depot is sounding the alarm about how uneasy shoppers are feeling right now, apparently. They just cut their profit forecast once again after missing earnings last quarter. And the reason is really pretty straightforward. People are putting off their big home projects right now. Sales at Home Depot stores nationwide barely budged, up just 0.2%. and customer transactions actually dropped more than 1%. And Home Depot's CEO now says this whiplash of tariffs and stubborn mortgage rates has basically frozen a lot of would-be buyers and sellers, which means, of course, fewer remodels, fewer renovations, and a whole lot of people saying, maybe I'll do it next year.
Yeah. Another example of what is actually happening to our economy. Sometimes they get on TV and they tell you otherwise. They tell you how everything is great. They tell you that it's cheaper to go buy groceries. They tell you that gas is cheaper. They tell you that this Thanksgiving is going to be cheaper. But then you have the reality of what's going on. When you look at Home Depot, and we talk about that, people right now, even people that make money, that make good money, because of the uncertainty that is happening in our country. Just last month in October, the October 2025 was the biggest job loss in cuts in 22 years. When you see that, you're like, hey, we need to hold off on home renovations. Hey, we need to hold off from going to Home Depot. High interest rates are preventing people from really going to buy homes. Scared to go and get into a new mortgage, scared to take that savings. Maybe you do have $75,000 or $100,000. You don't want to go take that money and dump it into a house, because then you're going to be house poor, if you will, because you don't know if you're going to be able to keep your job. You have no idea.
And it's going to buy a lot less.
Right.
And I just think of the remodel, and we did a major remodel a couple of years ago, and that cost was just, it was a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, try to do that now.
Right.
It would just be that much more. Now, I wanted you to listen to something, though, because this is what people are being told. This is Representative Keith Self of Texas on Newsmax saying that everything is great if only more Americans would watch the right kind of media. They would realize it as well.
If you saw Fox News just recently, groceries, gas, inflation in general is down under President Trump. Now, the mainstream media won't tell you that, but those are the actual numbers. We just have to get the American people understanding that things are better off and are going to continue to get better because of the one big, beautiful bill that kicks in 1 January. Going forward, things are going to be better, people are going to feel better, and we're going to get this country back on track.
Yeah, I mean, you go to, like you said, you go to the grocery store, you go to the pump, prices are definitely lower.
Now, the reality is gas prices nationwide have slipped a bit, mostly because global oil prices have dropped, not because of any specific one policy. Here in Washington, we know that certain policies have helped increase our gas prices. But when it comes to groceries and everyday costs, there's no real evidence of a drop. Food prices, how are they doing?
Food prices?
Yeah, they're a lot higher than
a
year ago. And most families would say that they are feeling the squeeze unless you are in the upper echelon. Household debt is at record highs. More people are falling behind on credit cards and car loans. Rents and mortgage rates have not eased. So housing is still an issue for a lot of people. But check this out. This is you shared this actually on our text messages yesterday. This is Jade Warshaw, who is the co-host of the Dave Ramsey Show, and she joined Dana Perino on Fox with these tips for people who are worried about the expense of the holidays.
Budget, budget, budget. You need a plan. Also remember, adults don't need gifts, okay? Focus on the people in your life who are age 3 to 18. Grandma doesn't need slippers. If they don't live by you, don't get them a gift. Now's not the time to spend and break the bank sending packages across the country, Dana. Focus on the people in your life, ages 3 to 18. That's my 30 seconds for you.
When I hear that sound, it's interesting how things are starting to turn. We, on this show, we've talked about how the value menus are coming back. It seems like we're talking about a lot of affordability tips. We are talking about things like, hey, do this. Here's a hack for you. Do that. And while we're continuing to do these things, these affordability hacks, I remember when we were talking about how great the economy was. You know, the problem is that we have been arguing We have been fighting. We have been talking about, oh, that's not true, and you have TDS, and this is false. But what's starting to happen right now in this country is we are really finding out. And what we're going to find out is there are people in this country that don't know how to be poor. There are people in this country that have never really had to face some of these uncertain times. And so what we're finding out is it doesn't matter if you have an R next to your name or a D next to your name. Stuff is getting real, and you can't hide behind it. As a matter of fact, the next time Donald Trump gets on, and I want to say this, Ursula, I don't want to just blame Donald Trump, because in fairness, to be very fair to Donald Trump, everything that's happening, he told you guys he was going to do this. He told you guys about mass deportations. Hey, farms, how's that helping you? Hey, Home Depot, how's that helping you? Because when you go to Home Depot now, the undocumented immigrants that were there, they're not there anymore. That is a sure sign of telling you, things are different. So the tariffs and everything, in fairness to him, Ursula, he said he was going to do this.
And some people, he says, are going to get some rebates. I'm not sure where that is. I know he was floating around the $2,000. Dinah Ever just texted and said, my grocery bill has exploded. I feel like food is going up every week. Over the weekend, Mark and I went to breakfast, and we were shocked in a positive way that our bill was under $70 for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you remember when you could be under $40? And we were happy that it was under $70.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't even get drinks.
But in January, Ursula, people said that we were fear-mongering. And now we are here. And so the question would be, how do we get out of this? Or do we have to wait another 3 years? Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, it's time for Would You Rather. Gee and Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
What is this world coming to? I ask you.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I loved going to the dump there in Fremont before it became the transfer station. This guy pulls up, and from the back of his truck, he looked like he had his grandmother's entire house. And I just waited, and every time he'd throw something in, I would just spear it like a fish.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
One day, the words on the page blur. You hold the menu a little farther away. It's subtle until it's not. At Near and Far Vision Partners, we help you see clearly, near, far, and in between. Expert surgeons, advanced technology, sharper focus for every moment. Schedule your complimentary consultation at nearandfarvision.com or call 425-900-2414. Near and Far Vision Partners in Bothell.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. you will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is delightful. During Olympic Hot Tub's Heat Up the Season sale, gift yourself year-round wellness with a saltwater hot spring spa or Tilo sauna. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Oh, a happy Tuesday to all of you. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's get to it.
Let me make something crystal clear. This one truly scares me.
It's time to make Ursula uncomfortable. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. Would you rather start over with everything you know now or keep everything you have but forget what you've learned? Would you rather start over with everything that you know now? Everything you know now, you're just going to start over, but you know everything. Or keep everything you have, but forget what you've learned?
Oh, man, neither is a good choice, but I guess I would rather...
That's definitely a hard one.
Yeah.
Easy. Start over.
I would start over, even though I think a lot of the hardships that I had and a lot of the crap that I went through, helped make me who I am today. But there are certain times of my career that I definitely would do over or want to do differently. Yeah. What about you?
I'd rather start over with everything that I know now. I remember I used to hear people say, if I had to start all over again, it would take me it would take this long to get to where I need to be. And I used to be like, yeah, right. Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I look back at some of the mistakes, a lot of the mistakes that I made and be like, well, yeah, that's why it took you so long, bro. Yes, I'll start over and with everything that I have learned.
I've learned the price of Amazon stock and Microsoft stock, and that would be good information to know starting over.
Well,
I've also learned that no one cares if you are practically killing yourself at work. No one cares. That you need to never allow a job to take over your mental health or your physical health.
Agree. Here we go. Would you rather be overestimated or underestimated?
Oh, easy. I'd rather be underestimated and prove them wrong. What about you?
I'd rather be, that's how I live my life. I want to be underestimated at all times. I want people to be like, man, G doesn't really, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. As a matter of fact, this is why I live my life. I don't need to be right all the time. I don't need to know all the perfect words all the time. I want to be underestimated. Yes. That little old auctioneer radio guy, underestimated. Chef?
Dude, I'm 5'5". I'm living it.
All right. Here's a big one.
Wait. Can I ask about that? Because Chef brings it up quite often.
What?
Like the whole height thing.
Yeah, what about it?
Is it something that for you is something that you think about every day? Is it something
not
that
even
comes
close.
up? Okay, good.
But honestly, I think it has given me a lot of empathetic perspective.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's also made me realize more what's important. So, for example, in my dating life, I'm not looking for the person with the most money or, whatever, like all the flash. Like, I don't need that. I need substance.
Yes.
Here we go. Would you rather take the fast path with shaky character or the slow grind with solid integrity? Now, I know before we answer, I know everybody's going to say the slow grind with solid integrity. I just want to pull a Ursula here and bring out the other side of the argument.
Can I be upset with you when you bring out the other side of the argument?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Let me bring this other side of the argument. I'd argue that in 2025, we live in a world that is less about the solid integrity and more about the fast path with shaky character. Hence the reason the White House, right? We are shown over and over and over again that part of it. So I think that was an easy one. I think most of us would say solid integrity.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's one more before we go. No, that was an easy one. Would you rather lose the argument but keep the relationship, or win the argument and lose the person? That's applicable for today, right? Win the argument. Excuse me. Would you rather lose the argument but keep the relationship, or win the argument and lose the person?
It depends. I have lost an argument and I have lost the argument and I can still keep the friendship, but it depends on what that topic is. There's some things I'm not willing to back down, and I would rather lose the person.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
And a lot of it has to do with integrity.
That's a good answer. That's a real good answer. Chef, what do you got? That's a real good one.
I'll keep the person. I don't need to win everything. Arguing should be about trying to understand each other, not winning or losing.
Yeah, great. Good stuff. Nick, what would you rather do?
It depends. If we're arguing about something that's illegal or not, I want to win the argument, and you can go. But if it's just for the fact or the purpose of winning an argument, I'm not going to be petty. I'll hold on to him.
Yeah. I think Ursula set the basis on that one. It definitely depends on what we're arguing about.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's some things that like no brainer. Like no, I'm not conceding on that one.
Yes.
All right, good stuff. We got the 10 o'clock hour coming up next. And Ursula, what y'all gonna do in the 10 o'clock hour?
Well, we're gonna say goodbye to you.
Yeah.
Okay. She has an appointment.
Yep.
So Chef and I are going to continue with Nick. But coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we are now back on another list. We are the 5th most expensive state to do this. And we'll talk about that coming up next. And then how much would it cost to achieve the American dream in 2025? Lots to talk about. More Gee and Ursula coming up next.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Steve Kathan. The House of Representatives is poised to approve a measure that would force the Justice Department to release the Epstein files. President Trump has insisted he'll sign the measure if it also clears the Senate. Ahead of the vote, Lisa Phillips and other survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes spoke out.
Many are women who were abused or trafficked through the international modeling pipeline Epstein built, promising visas, apartments, opportunities, futures, while exploiting their dreams for abuse.
President Trump at the White House right now with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman by his side.
You've agreed to invest $600 billion into the United States. And because he's my friend, he might make it $1 trillion, but I'm going to have to work on him. But it's 600. We can count on 600 billion. But that number could go up a little bit higher, yes, or I don't know. We'll see.
Trump dismissed criticism of the Crown Prince over the 2018 killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. He says, quote, things happen. A bankruptcy court judge has approved the settlement of thousands of lawsuits against Purdue Pharma, maker of OxyContin. That deal requires members of the Sackler family who own the business to contribute up to $7 billion over time, plus give up ownership. There's where the federal immigration efforts in North Carolina is expanding.
Many Charlotte businesses, including Manolo Betancourt's Latin Bakery, are closed as ICE agents sweep across the biggest city in the Carolinas.
I think this is the sadness and darkest days in the history of our city towards the immigrant community. The amount of fear and terror that we are having, I don't even have words to describe it.
Nearly 21,000 students were absent from Charlotte schools Monday. ICE agents have arrived in Raleigh, North Carolina's state capital and second largest city. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Federal investigators say a loose wire caused the container ship Dolly to lose power and its steering and crash into Baltimore's Key Bridge last year. 6 construction workers died when that bridge collapsed. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says officials also found the Key Bridge was 30 times above the acceptable risk threshold for collapse.
The fact is, none of us should be here today. This tragedy should have never occurred. Lives should have never been lost.
Reports say the Education Department's handing off some of its biggest grant programs to other federal agencies as the Trump administration accelerates a plan to shut down the department. Wall Street's right now the Dow is down about 300 points. This is CBS News.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Why an 80-year-old man confronted a Seattle vandal. The story coming up, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Bellevue, the crash has been cleared from I-90 westbound at 150th Avenue Southeast. You're still slow through Bothell due to an earlier crash on I-405 southbound. Travel times at or better than what we'd expect this time of day. Everett to Seattle will take you about 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 37. Renton to Bellevue, 22. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Please, search warrant, open the door!
That is the moment Pierce County deputies arrested a Yelm couple. Investigators say they uncovered a plot in which the two 28-year-olds planned to kidnap, drug, and rape a child. Deputies say they found thousands of child sex images in their home. Federal prosecutors say a 29-year-old registered sex offender has been sentenced in Seattle to 17 years in prison for exploiting teenagers he met through social media. They say Jack Harrison Newcomer was on state supervision from an earlier conviction for child rape when he cut off his ankle monitor. In the 3 months he was on the lam, he posed as a teenaged boy, meeting and abusing 10 girls across the state. A Seattle man says he was attacked after confronting someone vandalizing the Ballard Bridge. More from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibaum.
William Graffs didn't hesitate to pull out his phone and start recording when he saw a young man tagging the Ballard Bridge on Wednesday. Graff confronted him.
He didn't like that.
The teen swung at him.
Started to attack me with a can, and I kicked it out of his hand. That's when he hit me.
Graff was left with a bloody bottom lip, but he says what hurt the most was watching this property being vandalized.
It's just annoying that our city can just turn into a big garbage can.
Graff says he called 911. He says police did not respond, but firefighters treated his injuries. One person has been found dead inside a barn that caught fire near the Pierce County town of Buckley overnight. More from KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin.
There are still a few fire crews left on scene here. They are still working through the rubble of this barn fire. They say that it started just after midnight.
The victim has not been identified. Ford is partnering with Amazon to sell used cars and trucks. It's a service kicking off in Seattle. CBS's Jason Brooks reports.
In a major expansion for Amazon's auto marketplace, Ford's franchised dealerships will now be able to list their inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles, with customers able to shop, finance, and purchase a vehicle through Amazon's platform. Buyers have to pick up the vehicles at participating dealerships, and the program is currently available in Dallas, Los Angeles, and Seattle, with other markets being added later.
This weather update brought to you by Stade Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs near 50. It's 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome to the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate you joining us on this November 18th. I cannot believe we're already here. As you heard earlier, Gee is out for the rest of the day, so Chef is going to co-pilot the rest of the show with me.
We'll see if I bring down the plane or not. Hopefully not.
Oh, my goodness. No. Coming up at 10:30, we're going to bring you our Held to the Know segment, and we're going to talk about how to cheat at conversation. I think I know how this is going to go. And then we're also going to bring up creepy toys. And in just a couple of minutes, we're going to share some heartwarming nominations made by some of our listeners for our Moments of Joy project. You're not going to want to miss that. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. That is our text line, and it is open and ready for you.
What's new at 10?
If you are dreaming about retiring here in Washington, brace yourself because it is not cheap. A new net credit study ranks this state as the 5th most expensive in the country when it comes to retirement. So to live out your golden years here, you would need just under $1 million. So they're saying about $967,000 when you factor in our higher cost of living. Folks live here for longer, so longer life expectancy. And then, if you want to do some of the fun things like traveling and enjoying life. And in comparison, Hawaii is at the very top of the list, which doesn't come as a surprise to me. That's just over $1 million. But there are some relatively expensive places to retire. If you want to live in the Dakotas, for example.
Sure, West Virginia, one of those places.
Yes. But around the world, the U.S. is also the 5th most expensive country to retire in. And places like Singapore, Iceland, and Switzerland all rank higher. But you know how I've mentioned the Philippines being a relatively cheap place to go? Well, that is on the list of being one of the least expensive. However, be warned, as my mom found out, there are some things that do go by the wayside, including medical.
Right, and the whole having a connection with a family and a community that you've built up over the course of your life. First of all, what is this retirement that you speak of? Because I'm aware that my parents have retired. I know that, you will retire at some point here. But I think for a lot of people in my generation, even if we're saving, we can't really picture it.
No.
The math doesn't quite make sense to me. Like, the only reason I can have a concept of this, which I didn't have 10 years ago, is because my wife and I are living with my parents. And that's the only way that we can stuff as much of our money into savings and retirement as possible.
Right.
As for Washington, obviously housing is the biggest driver of the expense, both for long-term care or your house if you want to stay there. And that's
the biggest driver. But
Yes.
I mean, even we talked about it, going to eat out.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
Gas, groceries.
filling your gas tank. I mean, it's especially high here. And yes, these are some of the policies that were created by the majority in the House and the state Senate in Olympia. I mean, so before someone texts in and says, that is something that is locally. Yeah, there are some policies that are specific to Washington that have made it just that much more expensive.
Yeah. I think what's really sad about this, though, is, Ursula, you mentioned your mom moving to the Philippines. I have a father-in-law who moved to Ecuador to retire. And I wonder how many families are literally having to move apart, whether it's out of this state. Grandma has to get a assisted care living facility in Montana or something like that because it's so expensive here. What is really underrated, though, is the life expectancy.
Yes.
Because we have a life expectancy of 80, 81 years in Washington. But if you go to, say, West Virginia, it's 6 to 7 years lower. What does long-term care cost for 6 to 7 years?
A lot, depending on what kind of level of care and whether you have long-term care insurance. So let's just say, for example, I'll be vulnerable and share that we had to get my father on Medicaid. Because he had his leg amputated at the age of 88.
Yeah.
And to be able to afford the skilled living facility, it would have been $15,000 to $18,000 a month.
Wow.
Which that would have basically wiped out all the money that they made selling their home.
Yes.
And my mom was completely able, so that would have basically wiped her out and made her destitute and reliant on the government. So we had to get my father onto, which is a whole process for anyone who has had to go through this. And to me, and you hear me, I talk about this in the commercials that I do. I learned a lot of lessons about how you don't want to retire, unfortunately, by seeing what my parents did. It was a conversation that my father never wanted to have. And my father was really the sole earner, really, for most of our growing up. It was, 5 children, 1 income. And it's not to say that we didn't have but there were some lean years, right?
Yeah.
But he had to retire before the age of 60. He retired at 59. Anyone who's been through that knows it's very hard to find another job, especially as someone he had a green card here, but he wasn't an American citizen. And so trying to really take care of those retirement years when you retire so early. I mean, so many things have to go right, and your planning has to be almost impeccable for you to have a comfortable retirement.
Yeah, I'm really starting to think of retirement mostly as a privilege. It used to be an expectation for the vast majority of Americans that at some point you'd be able to kick your feet back and relax. But there's so many people who are still working in their 70s, in their 80s. I hear about couples who get divorced at 75 or 80 so that the husband can go on Medicaid without wiping out their life savings, leaving nothing for the spouse. It's really tragic.
It is. And I guess I go back to, why does it have to be that way? Right? And so I think that anyone listening to our conversation right now, it is so important to, if you are dealing with elderly parents, it's so important to have that conversation. So someone was asking, Medicaid while owning a house? No, they had sold their house, so they had some money in savings. And again, that money would have gone away. I basically had to work, within the system to try to get my father onto Medicaid legally, following all the rules, while not wiping out my mom. But what ended up happening is, my oldest son and I ended up buying her a house in the Philippines so that she could live out her final years in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Because it was just wasn't going to happen here in this country.
Do you want to look at glass half full on something that could actually change things for people? It's Social Security. So, I mean, I know there's been a lot of conversation about raising the age of Social Security. I think we need to do the opposite, not lower it, but raise the amount of that people are getting paid. Because, $800, $1,600 a month, that doesn't cut it. And the way that Social Security works right now is anything above that you make above like about $175,000 is not taxed. So someone who earns $5 million a year, they're only paying Social Security on that first $175,000. So we leave hundreds of billions of dollars off the table that could fund Social Security every year if we just made sure that everyone paid the same percentage of their income and all their income towards Social Security. And I think that would be a relatively easy thing to do if you had a slightly more progressive Congress. The rich people would be hopping mad, but I also don't think that it would hurt them. Anyone who's making, $250,000 should not have a hard time retiring, let alone $5 million.
I would love to know. Text us on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you rate your position right now in terms of how you're feeling about your retirement? Like, how much of it has been a priority? If you were to give it a number, what number would you assign it? Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I mean, how are you feeling about it?
Probably a 5, because I didn't start saving early like the majority of people. If it's not an opt-out system for your retirement, as a young person, most people think, I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. How can I pull 7% out? The math just doesn't work out for me. Well, a lot of times it's just that you don't notice what's already missing, right? And so you adjust your lifestyle if you're earning slightly less.
Right.
And I basically didn't save anything for retirement until about 32, 33, when Gabby and I got married. And it's, again, only because we've been aggressively saving and living with my parents that I'm like, a 5, I think.
Yeah.
But we're all, like one major medical disaster, one family member in need of financial help, one life-changing circumstance away from all of that evaporating.
And how many companies are still providing pensions, too?
The government is.
Exactly.
Get yourself a federal job.
I mean, right now that the numbers are coming in, text us 0 to 10. How prepared do you feel for your retirement? And give a reason why, too. And we'll share some of that because there are some very low numbers that are coming in right now. Well, living the American dream, though, Chef, comes with a price tag that most of us will never see. This is a new analysis now from Investopedia, and it says checking every classic box like owning a home, raising 2 kids, retiring comfortably, driving new cars, taking vacations, even having a pet. Now that adds up to more than $5 million over a lifetime. Okay, I mean, we are the bearers of such good news. That includes almost 1.6 million. And now that number seems to go even higher to retire, because we're talking about nearly $1 million to own a home, more than $876,000 to raise 2 kids, send them to college, et cetera, et cetera. And here's the kicker, though. The average American with a bachelor's degree will earn about $2.2 million less than the cost of that full dream, meaning you would need a dual income, college-educated household to have a shot at the American dream.
I'm no math major, but it seems like it's not quite adding up there.
Math is not mathing.
The one thing on there that I'll say it seems like a ridiculous cost to me is new cars, because anyone who's worried about their budget or just wants to be fiscally responsible should never be buying new cars every 5 years. And in my mind, that was never a part of the American dream. Was a brand new car in the driveway. It was just living comfortably, owning a home, sending your kids to college, and don't forget that was with retiring, and that was with 1 income. And now we need 2 to almost make it there. That is what has been stolen from us in this country.
Yeah. So, the numbers, like right now, it does look like a slot machine on our text line because people are coming in. A lot of people are saying in the low numbers. A few people are saying 9s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, which is awesome. Now, up until just recently, I would have said that I feel like that I can never fully feel comfortable retiring.
Mm-hmm.
And that has changed, but I remember even in my 20s, just getting it drilled into my head, you need to be aggressive with the 401k, do this, do that, do everything.
Who was it that taught you that?
Seeing what's happened with my own family.
Yeah.
It basically was myself.
Yeah.
I mean,
we learn
sadly,
from the mistakes of those closest to us.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
sadly. But right now, just seeing what folks are saying, I mean, there's a lot of people who are kind of teetering on the edge. So in any case, keep texting. And I wanted to make sure that we spent some time in this segment, Chef, talking about how our show actually is trying to do just a little bit of something to help people.
Something a little nice.
Yes, exactly. To help people who are struggling. And so y'all know that we are doing this Moments of Joy project, and we asked you last week to nominate people that you think would be deserving of a little bit of joy right now. And so I wanted to share some of the letters. We got wonderful letters, and we are going to accommodate all the people who were nominated. Listener Jim in the 425 nominated his wife Mary. And he says, my wife is the mother of 3 girls and our now 34-year-old son who was born with severe disabilities. He was our 4th child and suffered a brain injury before delivery, and that resulted in a diagnosis of cerebral palsy and a seizure disorder, and we had to relearn what it meant to raise a child. He says, Michael is a great joy in our lives. It has, however, been and continues to be an exhausting career. My wife has learned to be an exceptional caregiver and advocate not only for our son, but for others as well. And while Mike is seemingly healthy and whole, he does require 24/7 care. And despite 34 years of this, Mary continues to find ways to help others. Early in Mike's life, others took note of her ability to deal with the hand that was dealt to her. And this led to her being employed with DSHS in their Birth to 3 program, which is an early intervention program for infants and toddlers with disabilities. She also did something similar for Everett Providence Hospital. And he says once our son graduated out of the school system at the age of 21, she retired to take on the full-time role of caregiver, and we continue to care for him at home, knowing he'll be with us as long as we have the strength to make independent decisions. And despite this, she still helps others. She manages a food bank based in the church that they attend in Snohomish. She makes herself available to mentor younger moms who are traveling these same roads as we have traveled in the past. And while she will tell you the results of her efforts are reward enough, we all know that people like her deserve special recognition. And we agree. And so thank you, Jim, for your nomination. Mary, you are so deserving of this basket. And so we have created something really special for you.
Mary, as a older brother to a child who had profound disabilities, I saw my mom do many of those same things, taking care of my brother, and I know what that takes. And you are a light in this world for your family and for your community. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, Yero in the 206 says, my amazing, talented, caring, and selfless mom, who was born in 1948, is still on the road working every day. She teaches at many YMCAs in the Seattle area and surrounding areas, not making a lot of money. And recently she has experienced some medical issues, and then someone hit and ran her car in the parking lot of one of her places of work. She's been dealing with this for months, but she is such a strong person, so invested in my family, and has always been here for me my whole life as my biggest supporter. And she is always looking at the bright side of life, even though it has been so much upset with losing our family home in a divorce a decade ago and having her whole life uprooted. She says a little pick-me-up from her Seattle community would be such a great surprise. So, Yero, we agree, and your mom is getting one of our specially curated baskets.
Have you noticed how many of the letters were for moms and wives?
Yes.
Do you want me to read this one,
yes,
though,
please.
from Marcy? Okay,
yes.
So this is from Marcy. She says, Bob has opened his home for myself and my son as we've gotten to know him, and I lost my dog last year, and I'm now in the process of losing my 26-year-old son to medical issues. Bob has been so great and loving to us, and he's a retired military veteran. So someone opening their home.
Thank you, Bob. And the thing that I was really moved about all these letters, too, is how resilient people are and how giving they are, even as they are dealing with so many challenges.
Yeah, and showing up every day
Yes.
Every single day.
Yes.
Even when it's a struggle, helping other people.
So thank you. And we look forward to giving you those baskets of hope, and we will give you some more of their stories at the very end of the show. More of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up next.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Disaster in L.A.
Sam, look out, back across the middle, ball is intercepted. Reading Sam Darnold's eyes. Why did Sam Darnold not see some of those defenders?
How do Darnold and the Hawks bounce back?
I got to be better personally. He's a great quarterback. He's our quarterback. We love him.
We all know Sammy D's a baller.
We threw 4 interceptions today and had a chance to win it at the end.
Proud of our guys for fighting, man.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
One day, the words on the page blur. You hold the menu a little farther away. It's subtle until it's not. At Near and Far Vision Partners, we help you see clearly, near, far, and in between. Expert surgeons, advanced technology, sharper focus for every moment. Schedule your complimentary consultation at nearandfarvision.com or call 425-900-2414. Near and Far Vision Partners in Bothell.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask. Is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Black Friday deals are back at Dania Furniture. For a limited time, discover incredible savings on Nordic-inspired furniture and decor for every space in your home. From statement pieces for your living room to instant upgrades for the dining room, bedroom, and more. It's the perfect time to refresh your favorite space or reimagine your entire home. Dania Furniture. We make it simple. You make it home. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at daniafurniture.com.
Help elevate your company's pride with workplace tips from Cintas.
The right workwear helps your team look and perform their best. Cintas has work apparel for almost any job imaginable. Your team gets garments that are breathable, comfortable, and hold up to any job. Cintas even handles laundry and delivery every week with no upfront investment. It's all part of Apparel Plus from Cintas. Learn more at Cintas.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
The insurance world, it can be confusing, so have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. In just half an hour, members of the U.S. House could begin voting on a bill that would force the Justice Department to release its files on convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. More from CBS's Allison Keyes.
Epstein survivor Haley Robson says there's no place in society for exploitation of women.
This is a human issue. This is about children.
House Speaker Mike Johnson tried to block the bill from coming to the floor, but moments after survivors spoke, he said,
and they deserve justice. It has been too long delayed.
Kentucky Republican Rep. Thomas Massey says it would be disrespectful if the Senate delays a vote.
Do not muck it up in the Senate.
Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump is hosting Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at the White House. They're talking about Saudi investments in the U.S. and the sale of U.S. fighter jets to the Saudis. This is the Crown Prince's first visit to the U.S. since the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi by Saudi agents in 2018. President Trump says he might not allow Seattle to host next year's World Cup games, citing security concerns. And in the Oval Office, with the FIFA president by his side, Trump criticized Mayor-elect Katie Wilson.
You have a very, very liberal/communist mayor. If we think there's going to be a problem, we're going to move the event to someplace where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino has insisted only his World Soccer Organization can decide where to play the matches, but yesterday he did say safety and security remain top priorities. Seattle is set to host 6 matches at Lumen Field. Even though the federal government has reopened, SNAP food benefits could be in jeopardy for thousands of recipients in our state. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley explains.
The Agriculture Secretary suggested on Newsmax the Trump administration will require everyone reapply for SNAP, an effort to curb what she called widespread fraud. It's something advocates and recipients worry could lead to a lapse in coverage.
It took like a month for me to be enrolled with DSHS and get my benefits.
Food banks worry requiring new applications could spike demand at a time when need is already high.
Seattle and King County programs that help the homeless could lose millions of dollars in federal funding. The Trump administration plans to shift money away from long-term housing to short-term programs that include sobriety and work requirements. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 280 points. NASDAQ is off 116. KIRO News Radio traffic. Travel times are at or better than what we'd expect this time of day. Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 24. Renton to Bellevue, 20. All lanes of northbound 167 will close Wednesday night from Stewart to Ellingson. This is to create a work zone around that damaged bridge in Pacific. On Thursday morning, drivers will wake up to only one open lane until those repairs are completed. Traffic brought to you by Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. Buc-ee's.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs near 50. It is 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Keep those text messages coming in. 0 to 10, 0 being you feel unprepared for retirement altogether, 10 feeling like you've got this down. How are you feeling? Text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Chef, you're seeing what's coming in, and it's eye-opening.
It is very eye-opening.
And heartbreaking at the same time. But again, maybe we can also learn from a lot of you who are feeling like you're at a 10 right now. But right now, it's also time for us to do... And we definitely need a palate cleanser today. And why don't we start with the art, or maybe we should say the lost art of conversation.
Okay, so there is a new AI tool to help those who struggle with this whole concept of speaking human to human. So it's called Cluely, and it claims to be able to help people cheat at conversation. So it can work on a screen or smart glasses or listen through your phone and provide feedback through an earbud to give you live conversational suggestions, summaries, talking points. It'll feed you follow-up questions to make you sound really caring and empathetic. Or maybe just summarize the couple minutes where you zoned out. So perhaps it could help you.
Every once in a while I could use that.
I know. Instead of being, you weren't listening this whole time, were you?
No.
So just imagine how this could help you on a date. Or potentially coach you through a tough breakup conversation. I don't know if any parents out there struggle with some hard questions from their kids from time to time. Maybe that would be a nice tool for you. Their CEO says the technology is a way of cheating at conversation, but it's not different than any other tool like, say, a calculator. And he believes that since, as of now, there's always going to be somebody around us using AI, we should all use AI as much as possible to be on a level playing field. He says we need to be prepared for a future where deception is normal and inevitable, and ultimately believes that we will all need AI chips in our brain, feeding us gigabytes of information instantaneously.
I didn't want you to wait to the end and say, hell to the no. That we're all going to have now chips in the future in our brain, and that we need to normalize this deception. Okay, first of all, and I know AI is going to continue to get better, but if that were happening, don't you feel like there would be unnatural pauses? Hold up, let me wait on that answer. I need to wait. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now answer.
Yes.
No, that would just be awful.
So the Atlantic tested the technology, and they found it very useful in like a work meeting scenario, because you do have that time where you're going around a room, etc.
Okay, sure.
More difficult one-on-one, but the idea of instantaneous feedback is the future he's pointing to. I mean, we're already talking about this with online dating, or texting back and forth with someone. Are the texts they're sending you actually them?
Sure.
Or are you chatting with a bot through somebody and pretending that you're forming a connection with that person? How are we at a point where we have to question, is the conversation I'm having real?
Okay, I need to ask, and you and I are out of the dating scene, so we need to ask our resident young'un on the show, Nick. If you found out that someone you were potentially interested in is on a date and is kind of getting prompts from AI to answer you, how are you feeling about that?
It would feel disingenuous to me, because when I'm on a date, like, part of what I enjoy is just like at some moments, like enjoying just like the silences with each other and just like the company with each other, because it doesn't always have to feel like you have to fill the gap and, fill all the noise, because part of like being with each other is just kind of like feeling out like how you guys are when like there's moments where like there's nothing to be said in some moments, but
Nick, that was brilliant. That is exactly right.
And I think you can kind of tell when someone's like talking through AI, or like if you can hear the kind of tone, if it's kind of robotic, but obviously it'd be coming from a real person. But I feel like the language itself would also be a bit, too technical.
It wouldn't be real.
Yeah, I feel like you could kind of weed it out, like, oh, that doesn't seem real to me.
Yeah, it would feel very robotic. But
Gee might point out that people have been lying forever in their relationships and communication, and maybe this is nothing new. All right,
no chips, please.
Indeed. Okay, in time for the holidays, there is a new Watchdog report that warns maybe you shouldn't buy your kid that AI-powered toy There are a lot of them that are very interactive. They'll talk back and forth with you. So researchers with the U.S. Public Interest Research Group tested 3 popular toys marketed for kids aged 3 to 12. And at first, they're fine. They're harmless, fun, chatty with your kid. But after 10 minutes to an hour, the way kids play, the guardrails kind of fall off and it starts delving into adult content.
Oh, boy.
There's one toy in particular. It's like a little stuffed bear. It's called Folo Toys Kuma, that told a 5-year-old where to find knives, where to locate the pills in the house, how to light matches. Another one wandered into sexually explicit topics, including detailed explanations of fetishes.
Okay.
And these
I need to ask, though, okay, just with these scenarios, because what does AI do? It's reflecting what you input, correct? So a 5-year-old, where to find knives, okay, I can understand that. Kids have a fascination with weapons. But now we're getting into sexually explicit topics, fetishes. Now, where is that coming from?
That's coming from the AI. So these are most of them are running on OpenAI's model, and there aren't really any safeguards on what they're put in. And I guess it will just start steering conversations in adult directions. So
you can blame AI. Don't blame me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, it's
Dad
bad programming.
Says, or Mom says.
Oh, where'd you learn that word from?
Yeah.
Oh, the robot told it to me. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to deal with this, right?
Oh,
with my kids. Where'd you get that dumb idea? Normally you're going to point at the friends. Oh, great. It's the chat bot.
Yeah.
The chat bot fed you this?
Yeah, I'm saying hell to the no on that one, too.
I mean, Tickle Me Elmo and Teddy Ruxpin were pretty annoying because they're repetitive, but at least they weren't dangerous.
Right. Exactly. I mean, think about what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
What are we going to be talking about 5 years from now when it comes to AI and its capabilities and the challenges?
I got to catch up on my sci-fi to expand my mind and imagine all the horrible possibilities. And the good ones, as I'm sure you'd point out.
Absolutely. Okay, still ahead, we do scenarios. This is the Gee and Ursula Show.
The John Curley Show.
What is this world coming to? I ask you.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I love going to the dump there in Fremont before it became the transfer station. This guy pulls up, and from the back of his truck, he looked like he had his grandmother's entire house. And I just waited, and every time he'd throw something in, I would just spear it like a fish.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube, weekdays 3 to 7, and download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey there, Don Reiling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
And now, Tales of Another Way. You've got your same old playlist, but another song about a breakup is just a downer. 2 minutes in your music app, and now you're groovin', man. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. It's tolling now, and you can save $2 per toll with a Good to Go pass. Get a free sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee had to step out early, but Chef and I are piloting this plane, and it is time for us to do scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo.
I'm scared to read this one.
Uh-oh.
Okay. My girlfriend is the most remarkable person I've ever dated. Brilliant, grounded, funny, an amazing cook. Off the charts physical chemistry. She's warm with my friends, adored by my family, has a real career she loves, and I know she'll be a great mom someday. She's basically the whole package. But whenever we hit certain moments, emotional conversations, conflict, sometimes even simple frustrations like a printer not working, she shifts into baby talk. Not like cutesy flirting, I mean full-on toddler syntax, as in, "Me no like this convo. Could we have snuggums before we talk, Mo?"
Stop.
I told you I didn't want to read this. The first time it happened, I thought she was making a joke. The second time, I thought she was just masking anxiety. But by the fifth time, I realized this is a part of her. And every time I've brought it up, saying it bothers me, she starts crying. Why no love me? And then she pouts. What is going on? Everything else about her is incredible. We're compatible in every other way. And I think she's the one except for this thing. I cannot get it out of my head, and I don't know what to do.
She's perfect in every other way other than this occasional baby talk.
Yes.
And you've already told her, and she's not going to end it. Now, this is one of those, remember when G and I were talking about, are there certain arguments you just have to win? And I think that's what you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to give up every other thing that's amazing about her? Could she be doing this thing knowing that, she's just goofing around, knowing that it bugs you? I mean, there are things like in every relationship that people will do just to annoy. And I think
Some
the question
do it more
is,
than others.
Yes, this is true. So the question would be, is this a deal breaker? I'm thinking no. This seems pretty minor. It seems like at some point she's going to give it up. It's ridiculous.
Can you imagine having an argument with Mark, with Long Live Mark, and he busts out the baby talk? Or like you're having a serious disagreement about your finances and it's, well, why you get so mad right now? I would lose my mind. But that being said, hey, brother, put up with it. You got yourself a catch.
No.
There's always going to be
that
one thing about your partner that drives you nuts.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't get to pick what that thing is, but you do have to deal with it. And sometimes it's a thing that they can't change about themselves. So,
and I'm going to guess that is something that she could change about herself. Jim and Linwood just texted in and said, run away. Ben from Mercer Island says, baby talk is annoying as hell. But Mike in Portland, who I often think is just really wise, says, let it go. She's going to grow out of it. But the thing is, you exaggerated what it was, too. I mean,
no, that's what it says here.
You made it sound as annoying as possible.
Well, I don't know how else do you do baby talk? This is what he wrote.
And B and Puyallup says, have her do it in the bedroom. He'll love it.
No. Are you kidding me? Baby talk in the bedroom? That is the worst idea. Like, I'm sorry. Even the whole daddy thing, no. Cannot do that. Okay, baby talk, no.
Okay, how about this one? See, I'm leaning on our listeners right now. Hee-haw Aaron says, this one's easy. Talk the same way back to her. Okay.
Could you do that?
In all seriousness, no, and this crossed my mind, and Tanya in the 425 just brought it up. She might actually have real psychopathology. And she might have some sort of trauma or abuse issues from when she was a very young girl. And perhaps you do need to come into it with a compassionate take and just say, why is this so important to you? And is this something, and dig a little deeper. Like, why is she resorting to that?
I mean, that's possible. I can't speculate on it. But like, as a guy, this is probably the equivalent for me, if I was a woman, of dating a guy who was perfect, but he was really, really into My Little Pony. What do you think, Nick?
There's a fine line between thinking something's petty and repulsive, and I think to me, it's not close to the line at all. Maybe I'm in the minority with the nuisance, but with all the pluses for the girl, to be talking like an infant or a toddler, I don't know if I could get over the scratching of a chalkboard from her. Maybe she grows out of it, but it's a gamble, and it'll drive you crazy the longer it goes. So I would say buyer beware if you're going to go in the long run.
Okay. Now, we're getting a few people saying the same things. One, there might be something that she could use some counseling for. But the other one that's coming up, Josh in Auburn just said it too. Chef, you're way too good at these baby talk examples.
Oh, yes. This is a scenario from my friend. Nikki wants me to clip that, too.
Yeah, Josh said it the same thing. I hope somebody's taking these sound bites for future use.
Fortunately, I'm the one that does that usually.
I know, really. Exactly.
What a real bummer.
Hey, coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, of course, we are going to be doing Agree to Disagree, but we need to bring up a few things. You heard this whole brouhaha now about World Cup games in Seattle and what President Trump is saying about that. We have asked Luke Ducey to join us coming up here in the 11 o'clock hour. I'm wondering if Seattle's mayor-elect has responded to some of the things that the president has said about her. And then there are some more cities that are now reconsidering the whole flock traffic camera. So we'll get into that. And then I've got a question for you. Why is it that Costco seems to be a company that can do no wrong? And right now there's a story in the news that we're going to share with you, and I'm wondering if it would change your mind about that company. So stay with us. We'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up next.
Disaster in L.A.
Sam, look out. Back across the middle. Ball is intercepted. Reading Sam Darnold's eyes.
Why did Sam Darnold not see some of those defenders?
How do Darnold and the Hawks bounce back?
I got to be better personally. He's a great quarterback. He's our quarterback. We love him.
We all know Sammy D's a baller.
We threw 4 interceptions today and had a chance to win it at the end.
Proud of our guys for fighting, man.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Adventure smarter with the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid, available now at Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership. Get all-wheel drive with financing from just 3.9%. And during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Treehouse. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at progressive.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hurd-Garris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The House is to vote this hour to force the Justice Department to release the Epstein files. Survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse spoke out earlier.
I was a child. I was in 9th grade. I was hopeful for life and what the future had held for me. He stole a lot from me.
House Speaker Mike Johnson.
From the very beginning, our side has been insistent that this matter must be handled very carefully and with the utmost caution and care for the victims. We want maximum transparency. We have always been about that. We want every single person who had any scintilla of evidence that they were involved in the Epstein evils, they need to be brought to justice, and it should have been done a long time ago.
It isn't clear what will happen in the Senate, and President Trump has called for an investigation into Epstein's relations with some Democrats. Scott McFarland reports that complicates matters.
It's unclear what of those files, assuming the Senate signed off on this and didn't amend the bill, assuming the House passes it, assuming the president signs it, it's unclear what of this cache of unknown records will be held back, because there are still some pending issues involving people involved with the Epstein crimes.
President Trump hosted Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince today, his first White House visit since the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi by Saudi agents. Reporters asked the Crown Prince about it.
It's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc. in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that, and it's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
This just in, a panel of federal judges has blocked Texas from using a new congressional map that Republicans drew in hopes of picking up 5 U.S. House seats. A federal judge has dismissed the administration's lawsuit against New York over immigration arrests. Here's Michael Wallace.
The administration had challenged New York's Protect Our Courts Act, which bans federal immigration arrests at courthouses without a judge's warrant. The state enacted the law in 2020 after agents arrested immigrants as they came and went from their court hearings during President Trump's first term. The judge says that state law is protected by the 10th Amendment, which limits federal powers over states.
A bankruptcy court judge has approved the settlement of thousands of lawsuits against Purdue Pharma, maker of the powerful painkiller OxyContin. The deal requires members of the Sackler family who own the company to contribute up to $7 billion over time, plus give up ownership of the business. On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are lower again today. The Dow off more than 300. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Firefighters in Pierce County find a body. Details coming up, but first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Bridge repair begins in the city of Pacific in earnest tomorrow. All lanes of northbound 167 will be closed tomorrow night from Stewart to Ellingson to create a work zone around the damaged bridge. On Thursday morning, drivers, you're going to wake up to only one open lane until those repairs are completed. Travel times around the board are at or better than what we'd expect this time of day. Everett to Seattle will take you 27 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle 20, Renton to Bellevue 13. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. One person has been found dead inside a barn that burned down in the Pierce County town of Buckley overnight. Investigators are working to determine what caused that fire. The victim has not been identified yet. An 80-year-old Seattle man says he was left with a bloody lip when he confronted a teenager who was spraying graffiti on the Ballard Bridge. William Graff tells KIRO 7 TV.
It's just annoying that our city can just turn into a big garbage can. It's wrong, and it didn't used to be like this.
He says when he started recording the vandal on his cell phone, the teen hit him with a spray can. Graff says he called 911. Seattle police did not respond, but firefighters did come to treat his injuries. The King County Prosecutor's Office is working to extradite a man who fled to Alabama after a fatal punch at the White River Amphitheater in August.
Prosecutors say 31-year-old Devin McCurdy is responsible for the death of Brandon Godsey. After that punch, Godsey fell back, hit his head, and died from his injuries. McCurdy allegedly fled to Alabama, where he was located and arrested and is already charged with second-degree murder. Bail is already set at $2 million. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Marine biologists say they had no choice but to euthanize a young humpback whale who became stranded on a beach in Oregon. The whale was injured when it got caught in crab pot lines. It was a year ago that a devastating bomb cyclone hit western Washington. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao has a story of recovery from hard-hit Issaquah.
It's hard to believe this base-filled room was silenced by the bomb cyclone that ripped through a year ago.
Absolute catastrophic loss.
Bryce Van Paris tells me that one night cost Hammond Ashley Violins hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages.
Giant cottonwood tree right here crashed through the roof.
It took about 8 months for the shop to fully reopen. Business is now better than ever, one instrument at a time.
The bomb cyclone did an estimated $41 million in damage in Washington state. We're hearing from Josh Naylor for the first time since he penned a deal to stay with the Seattle Mariners. The slugger and first baseman was key in the M's postseason success.
Can't express how much fun I had on this team. It was unbelievable. Like, tears of joy, kind of unbelievable.
His 5-year contract worth $92.5 million. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs near 50. It's 47 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out for the rest of the day, and Chef is co-piloting the plane with me. Coming up at 11:30, we do Agree to Disagree, and I got a question for all of you, as I often do, which is, what are you doing with your pennies? Have you noticed that there are businesses flat out telling you,
don't bother.
Don't even bother. So we'll talk about that coming up on Agree to Disagree, because I am already going to do a mini protest about getting rid of the penny, even though I know they're expensive. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We love to hear from you, and you are so much a part of our show. So make sure you text us or also join us on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. But right now,
top stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
And it has been our top story this morning. President Trump launching a verbal attack against Seattle Mayor-elect Katie Wilson, calling her a liberal communist before threatening to pull the World Cup out of the city. And our reporter Luke Ducey has been looking into this. Has she reacted yet to this?
No comment yet that we've seen, and nothing on social. She has been on social today and this morning, but not for this, for something else. She's not even mayor yet, and she is now on Trump's radar already. This happened during an Oval Office exchange with reporters yesterday. It sounds like Trump got a little personal at one point.
I watched her over the weekend. Wow, that's another beauty we got there.
Trump was asked about security in Seattle during the World Cup coming up next summer, especially with Wilson as mayor. Trump said if he thinks Seattle is unsafe, he will send military troops and then relocate all 6 World Cup matches scheduled to be played at Lumen Field.
If we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very a liberal/communist mayor. I would say, it's certainly beyond just liberal. If we think there's going to be a problem, we're going to move the event to some place where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
His comments left some people, feeling a little awkward, like the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino. He was standing right there next to him when he made this remark. He basically was asked a similar question. He deflected, saying safety and security remains top priority. Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem spoke up, though, and she said, President is always there to make Americans safe. They're expecting some 750,000 people to visit our city here in Seattle with the World Cup coming up this summer.
Okay, so let's just remind everybody what we're talking about. We're talking about 6 games, right, being hosted here.
6 games, yeah.
And it's expected, the city and state projections show that those matches alone could bring in up to $200 million in direct spending.
Oh, direct, yeah. But
close to $400 million overall if you factor in hotels and restaurants, retail, jobs, et cetera, tied to the tourism.
Absolutely, and I'm already hearing stories of friends and neighbors considering renting their houses for the month. For like,
are you serious?
Oh yeah, no, it's true.
For like $30,000.
Yeah, Airbnb, all that. Yes, a lot.
And then they can go hang out in Chelan.
Yes, anywhere.
Well, I think they're realizing I could just sleep in my car, rent out my place, and make a bank basically during those 6 things. What we were asking this in the 9 o'clock hour, though. What could the president actually do?
I don't think a whole heck of a lot. These things, FIFA, the governing body of the World Cup, and that these big international tournaments like this. A lot of people don't realize when they select a city, a country first, and a city, and the 3 countries that are hosting are Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. are all hosts. They have very strict guidelines, down to like Lumen Field, for instance, has to change its name. It cannot advertise Lumen as a company. It tells the airport, SEA, what it can and cannot do, what kind of advertisements it can have, et cetera, like down to the T. They are so controlling. So, in other words, they invest a lot of time and effort and money into these locations. Seattle is a location they want to be in. Right. I don't think that the president himself actually has a lot of sway in pulling the games.
Unless, obviously, there was some reason to believe that all these people who are flocking into the region would be in danger.
If there's a national security issue, absolutely, yeah. But you got to make that case.
Exactly.
So can I talk to my conservative brothers and sisters for a second? Because I want to ask you, do you think this is normal? Because there's no pretense even here for this. It's just, hey, they have a liberal/communist in his opinion. Clearly doesn't know what communism is. So therefore, I'm going to take away a $200 million economic driver for your region. I mean, I don't really care about FIFA in the World Cup. I think it's going to be a big pain in the butt, so don't threaten me with a good time. But just realize the level of threats and federal funding, all the different ways that he is going after people. And I want to flip the script on you all, because I want to ask you, what if there's a Democratic president in power who decides that your gun laws are too loose in your state? You've passed permitless carry. You don't have red flag laws. So we're not going to give you FEMA aid anymore. Or we're going to send in federal police because clearly there's so many people with guns causing crime in your state and you refuse to do anything. What about your voting laws? Do you have voter ID laws in your state? Do you vote in person? Did you reduce early voting days? Okay, we're going to come in and we're going to change your voting system. What if you have a coal plant in your state? You're not green enough. Or you do some fracking. How about no federal money for education? And I could go on for days.
Right.
The idea that the president, who is supposed to have limited power, is on TV every single day threatening people over things that he has no damn business in is insane. And y'all would be jumping off the roof if it was a liberal president. Like, any one of these things that he does would be a 24/7 news cycle on Fox if it was targeting some sort of Republican idea, not even a policy. Like the idea that you have, a Christian nationalist politician who gets elected?
But remember, okay, well, Kirk in Mount Vernon just texted in and said, Chef, I am a conservative, and I'll tell you, I'm appalled by this overreaching power. I'm not buying it. I don't like the fact just because he doesn't like someone, he starts pulling in, talking about paralyzing our region. I'm not going to stand for it. remember, though, that the president was told to his face that Antifa has taken over parts of the city.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a grasp on reality. The only reality that he sees is what comes in on that little black box television through Fox or Newsmax or OAN. So it's not like he's informed about this stuff, but like I had lived my entire life believing that the Second Amendment was in place for exactly circumstances like this. And most of the biggest 2A amendments in this country are standing up and cheering. And now we got the militias going to Portland to hang out outside and counter protest.
But here's and I hear you loud and clear, and I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that he is putting this out there. Basically, what he was given some red meat. And he essentially wanted to say she is a, what did he say? Communist? What did he say?
Called her a liberal communist.
Liberal communist.
Well, I mean,
before she's even stepped foot in the actual office, and had said that, oh, isn't she a beauty or something to that effect. I don't know if he was talking about physical looks or whatever. Well, it's just that's inappropriate. But are we really shocked?
No, and I would also maybe adding to this a little bit and mention this is during the same week where hundreds of National Guard troops that were deployed to Portland are now being sent home to California. Those nationalized troops, the U.S. Northern Command saying they are, quote, right-sizing their footprint in Portland. They were, heavy policy in that regard that Chef was alluding to, and now backing off, sending troops home. So,
I also want to point out that Seattle's World Cup organizing committee. I'm still waiting for Katie Wilson to have a chance to prove me wrong. Okay, she hasn't even stepped foot in the office yet, but he did point out that Katie Wilson has already reached out to them proactively to get briefed and is excited about the city of Seattle hosting and talking with the right people about what needs to happen to make sure that it's a safe thing. So this is just a whole lot of nothing.
It's called the beautiful game for a reason. It's the world's game, and we're going to see the world here during the summer. And it's going to be a fantastic time. It should be a fantastic time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you, Luke. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Costco because I think Costco gets lot of – yeah, I know. You're getting riled up. Costco gets a lot of, I guess, positive press, very positive press. It's great quality, great price, and apparently there's a new lawsuit that says maybe some of their Kirkland tequilas aren't exactly what the label promises. So specifically, tests found that and it's listed in a federal complaint that was filed here in Seattle. It claims that several 100% blue agave Kirkland tequilas contain large amounts of cheaper alcohol, cane sugar, corn syrup, fillers. And the Seattle Times reports that one test found 40% non-agave alcohol in the Blanco, and another found the Reposado was 95% non-agave, which would not even qualify as tequila if you are in Mexico.
Say it ain't so.
Yeah. So the suit accuses Costco of deceptive marketing, even RICO violations. Similar cases have already been filed in California, Florida, and New York. And agave farmers in Mexico are warning that some distilleries are cutting product to stretch supply. Costco hasn't responded yet, but I was just thinking when I read this story, because of all the positive press that Costco gets, something like this, is this enough to knock it down a few notches? Is it enough to go,
I think it's enough to make people probably question a little bit some of those Kirkland signature, because you always hear about Costco like, oh, their vodka, it's made in the same factory as the Grey Goose factory, and so it's clearly the same exact thing. I mean, from a consumer's perspective, this is a huge no-no. And I was not aware until this point that you could make a, quote, tequila by just dumping sugar into the vat, so long as it's like 35% of it, along with the agave nectar. But on the other hand, I don't think it's as big of a deal as some people might be upset about.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, 99% of the booze that's out there, there is no distinguishable difference between something that is mid-shelf, decent, and something that is extremely top shelf, unless it is aged in wood casks for 15 years and you notice the different levels of tannins. If you were to blind taste test people on a mid-level vodka with a super extremely fancy vodka Or the same thing with the Reposado tequila. I guarantee they would not be able to pick out which one was more expensive half the time.
I mean, for me, good if this in fact is true. And Kirkland brand actually is a brand that gets a lot of good reputation.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why Costco is so popular, because it has this house brand that is actually pretty good quality. I'm going to guess that Costco makes it right, just given their history. But I was thinking about, like, what would it take to knock Costco down? I mean, they fight back against pressure from the federal government on things that we have talked about. You know, when it came to their DEI policy, they were getting a lot of heat and a lot of pressure, and they did not back down. This is a company that has almost a legendary return policy. They've
Treats their employees great.
Treats their employees well.
Yeah.
Has $1.50 hot dogs.
Yes. Yeah.
And $4.99 rotisserie chicken.
This has got to be a one-off thing for Costco, because I mean, they have a supply chain, right? And they have people that do this independently for them. They slap their label on it. So clearly it's somebody down the chain who's decided, oh, we can squeeze this through and maybe Costco won't notice. Unfortunately, they got tested.
Yeah.
Side note, if you think you can tell the difference between cheap and expensive booze, I just challenge you to go to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico or someplace like that, because all of those bottles of Absolute and Hennessy, pro tip, they refill those bottles with other booze. It happens all the time.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
You've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, there have been places who've been busted. You get in huge trouble here.
Todd says liquor connoisseur can tell the difference, and I agree with that. But if it's someone like me drinking, I have no idea. Okay, you live in Edmonds, Chef, and it's a place I love to go. It's a place that I would consider living if I weren't living in Seattle. Is paid street parking a deal breaker if you decide where you're going to visit, shop, or dine? Because that is going to be coming to Edmonds. And this is from My Edmonds News. They're reporting that the city council is going to hear about this week, and they're going to decide whether to bring paid parking to parts of the city as a new revenue source. And it's coming from the city's Economic Development Commission, the same group trying to help Edmonds fill a growing budget gap after Prop 1 failed. Right now, for those of you who don't know, parking in downtown Edmonds is free, and that is part of the charm. I will agree. Now, the times I've gone there, though, it's getting harder and harder to park, and you're having to go blocks away. Okay, I can use the steps, but I'm just saying the idea of trying to park anywhere close to where you want to actually eat is getting harder and harder. But the commission says paid parking would stabilize revenue without raising property taxes and could also help manage all the traffic in that downtown core. What do you think? How important is free parking?
I think you only need to charge for street parking when it becomes impossible to park in order to free up spots. If you have to walk 2 blocks for a parking spot, I think that's an acceptable distance. If it's like 4 or 5, then that's a problem. You're talking, quarter, half mile. But they're looking at this for revenue reasons. And let's be honest, like the majority of places where there is paid street parking, as soon as that gets put in place, all of a sudden you've got a whole bunch of parking enforcement officers who are running around 24/7, just ding, 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 ding.
So you're
it's not even the revenue from the parking; it's from the tickets. I don't want. I've never had a problem parking in Edmonds. I live there.
Yeah.
It's a block or two.
Yeah.
But let's say I was going to go to Kenmore, similar sized city.
Yeah.
If I knew there was paid street parking there, but it meant that I had a guaranteed spot, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I just know that for me, one of the biggest deterrents for me going downtown is not the idea of crime. It truly is the parking.
Yeah.
It is just, if I'm going to choose where I'm going to go eat or where I'm going to go shop and I have to add in the parking along with it, I will go someplace that has easy parking and easy access.
Yeah. Downtown especially, because I don't have a problem paying $2, $3 for parking.
Yeah.
But once you have to park in a $35 garage in downtown, no way.
Exactly. I mean, unless I'm going to a show that I got a really good deal on, and then I can justify it in my brain.
Spot.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, still ahead, we do agree to disagree, and someone took issue with my contention that I am already missing the pennies, and they're still around, but they're not making them anymore. Are they trash? Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. More of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Disaster in L.A.
Sam, look out. Back across the middle. Ball is intercepted. Reading Sam Darnold's eyes. Why did Sam Darnold not see some of those defenders?
How do Darnold and the Hawks bounce back?
I got to be better personally. He's a great quarterback. He's our quarterback. We love him.
We all know Sammy D's a baller. We threw 4 interceptions today and had a chance to win it at the end.
Proud of our guys for fighting, man.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
We've been talking a lot about retirement, and when I think about it, I just don't picture numbers on a page. I do picture moments, more time with the people I love, definitely more travel, and more space to breathe and enjoy the life that we have worked so hard to build. But to get there, you really do need a plan that will give you peace of mind. And that's why my husband Mark and I sat down with Marty at Trajan Wealth. She asked all about our family, our dreams, and yes, all the financial pieces of the puzzle as well. And she raised a lot of thoughtful questions that we hadn't considered. And we had our follow-up meeting yesterday, and Marty laid out a bunch of different strategies designed specifically for us. And that matters because retirement shouldn't feel scary. It should feel like hope. And that is what I love about Trajan Wealth. Real guidance, real care, and a plan that reflects who you are. If you want peace of mind and a plan that honors your life and your goals, call Trajan Wealth at 206-466-3300. Trajan, spelled Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300, or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
KIRO-FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts.
an MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man, a Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
CBS News special report. The House has begun voting to force the Justice Department to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. House Speaker Mike Johnson moments ago.
We want to do it in a respectful and careful manner so that we don't subject innocent people to further harm.
What comes next? CBS's Scott McFarland.
It's going to nudge the Senate to finally move on this. They haven't been touching this thing with a 10-foot pole over the last few months. They now have to embrace it, and the president has said he will sign it into law.
CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns on Capitol Hill.
It is a sign, kind of bigger picture here, that Republicans up here on Capitol Hill want to get this out of the way and move on to economic issues that they think are going to play big in the midterms.
President Trump has called for an investigation into Epstein's relations with some prominent Democrats. That could hold up the release of some of the documents because they're related to an investigation. CBS News Special Report, I'm Cammie McCormick.
And I'm Heather Bosch. A protest is set to get underway right now outside Microsoft's Redmond campus as workers and community members demand Microsoft cut all ties with the Israeli military. They claim the company's cloud and AI services are being used in ways that violate human rights in the West Bank and Gaza. We have reached out to Microsoft for comment. President Trump issues a World Cup warning to Seattle.
Asked about public safety in World Cup host cities, the president singled out Seattle and its mayor-elect, Katie Wilson.
So if we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor.
He warned soccer matches would be relocated.
We're going to move the event to someplace where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
The president of FIFA insists record-breaking ticket sales show fans are not worried about safety. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Federal officials say all SNAP recipients may need to reapply for benefits, suggesting there's widespread fraud. Debbie Christian with the Auburn Food Bank doubts that, telling KIRO 7 TV.
It's harder to apply for DSHS food stamps than it is to go get a bank loan.
With demand rising, she fears the change could overwhelm local food banks. There are 930,000 SNAP recipients across Washington. Wall Street is down on fears of an AI bubble. The Dow down 360 points right now, NASDAQ off 170. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. We're all green across the map right now. In Everett, we do have a blocking issue just off the freeway. It's South 5 at your exit to 41st Street. That off-ramp is all jammed up due to a disabled semi blocking at the very end of the ramp, the bottom of the ramp. You're able to squeeze by, but it's a slow roll, and that's why you're backed up to the freeway. And the Hood Canal Bridge is open for marine traffic right now. Here are some wide-open drive times. Everett to Seattle, a half hour. Seattle to Tacoma, a half hour. Bellevue to South Center, 15 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs near 50. It's 47 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee had to check out a little bit early today. Chef and I are going to do Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
I want to bring up a really interesting red state idea that's going around. So Florida's already passed this, but a number of red states want to allow pregnant women to park in disabled spaces. So Florida already has a law that will give a woman a placard that she can use for 1 year. During the term and then following the birth of the child. Disability advocates say that the measures violate the Americans with Disabilities Act, and there simply aren't enough spaces, especially for women who don't have a documented medical need to use those spots. But Ursula, there are a lot of women who would probably really benefit from that, and it would be helpful. What do you think about that idea? And I'm just blindsiding you with this right now.
You are, so I'm just thinking real quick, and I will say my immediate reaction is I'm going to go with the group that advocates for Americans with disabilities, and I will agree that while there are moments in a woman's pregnancy where it would be really helpful to have one of those parking spots, especially if there is some kind of medical issue connected with that pregnancy, I would agree with that. But on the whole, I think that I disagree, and that I would save those for people with true disabilities. I don't think of pregnancy as a disability.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective. I don't know if that was the intention of the policy, was to couch it in such a light. I think it was more like, hey, this is something nice that we could do.
To do,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But I would never want to do it at the expense of people who actually, I mean, I was pregnant twice, and I can say with 100% confidence, I'm just trying to think, because toward the end it was getting a little tough. Maybe the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the last week, because I did end up having to go, with our second son, I did have an issue. But otherwise, no. I mean, I could walk.
Okay. I would be okay with this if. So I understand that there aren't enough spaces. So I just very briefly looked up. In Seattle, there's a 2013 audit that found about 20 to 30% of parking spots in downtown and First Hill were occupied by vehicles that had a disabled placard. And the estimate at the time was that 60% of those disabled parking placards were suspected of being used illegally. So I think there's
a whole nother topic.
There's a very real fraud problem when it comes to disabled parking stickers.
Yes.
I mean, and you never want to be the person that goes up to someone who appears to be able-bodied, walking out of their car and say, "Sir, how dare you? You are clearly not disabled," but you don't know what's going on with that person or why they might have one.
You cannot assume that you're going to be able to see that someone has a disability that gives them the usage of that placard.
It seems like there has to be a better system, kind of like with the good-to-go passes, right? Something that can be electronically updated or whatever, because right now it's a placard, right? You can either pull one out of someone's car if you're breaking in. I don't think that they would probably be that difficult to manufacture yourself if you were really motivated. But if there's a lack of space, then how about we go after the fraud, and then maybe we can look at something like that.
Sure. I would agree with that.
If that's the only thing you got for pregnant women and their families, try harder.
Right? Exactly. I could think of a lot of other ways you can help.
Help support them? Yeah. All right. The very last penny was minted last week. And yesterday morning, The Atlantic said, pennies are trash now. Ursula, there are 300 billion pennies in circulation. 300 billion, so $3 billion worth of pennies. And I want to point out, there is no plan. The reason why The Atlantic says this, there's no plan to collect or recycle the old pennies. There's no public education on how to round cash transactions without them. Recycled pennies aren't valuable because they're mostly zinc, so it's not going to happen. And we can't all cash them in because if we brought all of our pennies to the bank, there would not be enough vault space to hold them all. So basically, if you've got pennies in your house, it's garbage.
So in other words, there was a plan that was put into effect without really thinking it through, is what I'm hearing you say.
Correct. Yes.
And I am a proponent of the penny, even though, yes, it has become too expensive to make new pennies. So I still use my pennies. I went to CVS. I say it like that because I just was at CVS over the weekend, and there was a sign that said, if you're going to give change or you're going to use cash, make sure that you have exact change because we have no change, no pennies. They're just, and I think it's, I without even seeing it, because we're going to start seeing it now, that businesses are just going to be rounding up. Okay, rounding up. And someone.
And some round down.
Tell me when, tell me if it's one, maybe. But I will say that there was someone who texted in and said, if something costs me 52 cents or I have 52 cents coming back to me as change, don't just give me 50 cents. I want my 52 cents.
Really? Okay, so first of all, if you are the person who pays with pennies at the grocery store, the reason you pay with pennies
did it just yesterday
is because you don't want more pennies back. Because you fundamentally realize, I don't want these things.
Yes.
I better give them to the store. I feel completely vindicated that I admitted last year that sometimes I'll just chuck them in the trash when I find them lying around the house because I'm not cashing them. I mean, there's going to be a point where Coinstar isn't going to accept them, right? And I assume that's going to happen very soon.
Yeah.
Are you going to bundle all those suckers up and bring them to the bank?
I have a literal piggy bank that is full of pennies, and I'm going to not do anything with it until I find out, because if they really go extinct, okay, some of them are going to be very valuable.
Not the new ones. Like the old ones that are made out of actual copper.
Well, Ed in Bremerton says rare pennies are worth nothing, but Pam in Port Townsend says check pennies mint date. Some are worth thousands.
Yeah, some are worth a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
If you have old ones, sure.
Yeah, I'm still not. And I like to have pennies so I can throw them in the fountains.
So you can pollute the fountains with garbage.
So I can make a wish for someone who is less fortunate.
I don't know. Maybe I need to buy like a small forge, and then I can, craft something out of it that's cool.
Okay, look at this. Starbucks in Newcastle. Rounded down from $7.73 to $7.70 last week. Pleasant surprise. That's a way that people could bring a smile to the face. Round down.
Yeah, McDonald's,
I like it.
I see a policy here. If it ends in a 1 or a 2, they round down. If it ends in a 3 or 4, they round up to 5.
Okay, that makes sense.
If it's a 6 or a 7, they round up to 5. And if it's an 8 or a 9, they round up to 10. That's not that difficult, right?
There you go.
Feel free to get rid of your pennies, Ursula.
Okay, or feel free to pick one up if you see one on the ground, chef. Okay, still ahead, we hear you, and our words to live by, and our nominations, a few more nominations for our Baskets of Joy. And again, you want to stick around. Very heartwarming stories. We'll have more of that coming up next.
The John Curley Show.
What is this world coming to? I ask you.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I loved going to the dump there in Fremont before it became the transfer station. This guy pulls up, and from the back of his truck, he looked like he had his grandmother's entire house. And I just waited, and every time he'd throw something in, I would just spear it like a fish.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
If you are in the market for a new car, you want to make sure that a dealership will treat you like someone they value and not just like another transaction. And if you want to get that Gold Start treatment, Carter Subaru is the place where I have always felt so well taken care of, and that is why I am a repeat customer. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership. They have the state's largest selection, and if you've been thinking about upgrading, now truly is the time, because you can get the 2025 Crosstrek at just 1.9% financing for 72 months. And right now is one of my favorite times of the year, too, because the Subaru Share the Love event is going on. For every new Subaru purchase, Subaru will donate $250 to one of 6 charities, and one of them is a hometown favorite, Paws. If you want a dealership that actually listens to you and treats you with respect, go see my friends at Carter Subaru. They're in Shoreline and Ballard, or start at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo Plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Make this the last holiday season in that old kitchen. Hi, this is Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our solid wood refacing system delivers a luxurious new kitchen way easier and less expensive than a tear out. You won't believe the difference. Heritage Homecraft's specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. With Heritage Homecraft, custom means built from scratch just for you. Our own craftsmen, not subcontractors, will reface your existing cabinet boxes with 1/4-inch thick solid hardwood and add new custom-built solid hardwood doors. We can make design changes, add cabinets, install custom features, and top it all off with a brand new quartz countertop. With the holidays here, I know everyone's busy, but if you order your new Heritage Homecraft kitchen now for select install dates after the new year, I'll give you 12% off the entire project. Hey, all year long and especially next holiday season, you'll be delighted that you did. Call today, Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is delightful. During Olympic Hot Tub's Heat Up the Season sale, gift yourself year-round wellness with a saltwater hot spring spa or Tilo sauna. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
And just like that, we are rounding out the... Is it Wednesday? No. It's just Tuesday edition of
thanks.
the Gee and Ursula
You just
Show.
stole a day from me.
Yes, and I want to make sure that you're on top of the breaking news. The U.S. House just voted to release the Epstein files, and we are talking about an overwhelming number saying yes. In fact, there was only one representative who said no. It was one Republican.
Yes, Clay Higgins of Louisiana. Final vote tally is 427-1.
Wow. So it still needs to go to the Senate, obviously. And President Trump did say earlier today that he would be in support of releasing the files. So that is a big development there. Before we get to your text messages, we wanted to share again some of the nominations that we received for our Moments of Joy project. As we talk about every single day how many people are suffering right now, we thought it would be kind of a cool thing to create some baskets of joy. And I'm just going to tell you, Chef, I had so much fun putting these together.
Yeah.
I really did. And then seeing the folks who are going to receive these and what they're saying, it has been actually very moving and just heartwarming.
Yeah.
So the first person we want to mention is Nick in Milton, who says he is nominating his amazing wife, Melanie. He wrote us and said, Melanie is an amazing mother to our 6-month-old son, the best partner a guy could have, and she could really use a joy basket as her days and freedom have been given up for our infant son. She left her job after they made her pregnancy a burden for their business and has been struggling to find any kind of evening work or a work from home job that would work around my 40 hours a week trades job. Melanie always puts the emotions and needs of her siblings and our family before her own, and I know that a basket of joy would be extremely unexpected for her to receive, and she would be deeply grateful that she was even considered for a selfless gift. Money is really tight right now, and as we head into this holiday season, she and I have discussed numerous times that gifts will be small and few this year, but we are so grateful for our marriage and our son. Neither of us are really felt left wanting, but we appreciate your consideration and for providing these gifts to those in need.
And it sounds like your wife is truly a gift to you. So thank you for nominating her. This comes from Cindy, who wants to nominate her daughter-in-law. She writes, 6 months ago, my granddaughter Risha's 20-year-old daughter had a baby boy. 3 months later, she died from a drug overdose, and the baby was placed in foster care. After a long, painful process, he's now finally with his grandparents, my son, Adam and Risha. Their whole family has been through hell, but the joy of having this baby back is what's helping them get through each day. Risha and the entire family truly deserve some joy. P.S. My son and daughter-in-law adopted their 6 kids from foster care.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know that
Beautiful.
this would be really meaningful, and thank you for nominating them. And we do have a special basket for them. Kylie nominated her close friend Nicolette. She says, Nicolette is the sweetest person I know. She is intentional with everyone she meets, always taking the time to see them and show them kindness. Despite facing incredible circumstances in her life, she's always joyful and caring toward others. She is a single working mom who financially supports her young daughter, her mother, and her younger sister. And with the economy the way it is right now, I know a joy basket would make her feel seen in a time where life is heavy, as well as provide a little bit of personal comfort in a season of her life where she's often taking care of others without many people taking care of her. So we're happy to provide that. And I just want to say thank you to you as well, Chef, because I know that you are going to be adding some really great treats.
Yeah, I'm doing a couple.
Yeah.
But this is Ursula's baby.
Well, it's a joint project, and Gee is also contributing those Lillian loaf cakes, Gee and Lillian. So really appreciate that.
Can I make one quick note?
Yes.
The preponderance of nominations that came in were nominating women. And it was such a reminder of how many women are the glue that holds our families together, that holds our groups of friends together, those in need, our community.
Yes.
So special thanks to all of you.
We see you for sure, and thank you for those nominations. Unfortunately, we can't take any more, but we will continue to share the stories that we have been getting. I love this quote. There is a story behind every person. There is a reason why they are the way they are. Think about that and respect them for who they are. Chef, thank you so much. Love having you be a co-host and also enjoy all that you do as a producer. Nick, as always, fantastic job.
Well,
appreciate you.
There's a day we all are wishing falls upon our lap when we call it quits for good from 9 to 5 and on our maps. And I'm with the ones who see it as a dream far off from here. So I'll just enjoy the journey on the way without a fear. Though I'm not sure what we'll do for paying if you're using cash when you can't add up the pennies while you're adding up the stash. I'm in favor of rounding down for all the purchases if we ended up going that route. So.
Me
Amen.
too. And by the way, are you going to save any pennies, Nick?
Maybe for a collectible,
right?
Kind of sentiment thing.
Exactly. Okay, y'all, I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. Jake and Spike are coming up next, and we'll do this again tomorrow.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Knock me down and back up again. You're in my blood. I'm not a lonely man. There's no load I can't hold. The road's so rough. This I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell them we're a survivor. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long. Let y'all go in my way. I wanna drive it all night long.
The John Curley Show.
What is this world coming to? I ask you.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I love going to the dump there in Fremont before it became the transfer station. This guy pulls up, and from the back of his truck, he looked like he had his grandmother's entire house. And I just waited, and every time he'd throw something in, I would just spear it like a fish.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
John Curley here. Attention landlords. Let's say you've owned a rental for 20 years. Tenants are calling at 1 a.m. It's another problem you would love to sell, but those taxes keep you stuck. Many properties today are producing less cash flow than a high-yield savings account. Some landlords are working harder than ever for 1 to 3% return. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting a free landlord retirement plan workshop. November 18th in Kirkland, November 19th in Tacoma, and November 20th back in Kirkland, all at 3 p.m. Madrona does things differently. They're wealth advisors and CPAs, so they understand both investments and taxes. You'll learn strategies like how to sell without triggering massive capital gains, or how to avoid depreciation recapture surprises, and why DSTs are becoming so popular with retired landlords. Only 10 seats per workshop. Call 833-673-7373 to reserve yours. That's 833-673-7373.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.